What's up? You're watching the Green Dream Project. Jim here.
And Jessica.
What are we talking about today?
We're talking about a special plant that we have in the greenhouse.
Alright, so we're filming today from inside the tiny greenhouse.
Greenhouse.
Tiny greenhouse. Why are we here?
We want to talk about London Rocket. What it is, how to use it, how to grow it, and maybe if you even want to grow it or not.
Yeah, why would you want to grow London Rocket? Oh, we're gonna get to that.
We're gonna
get to that.
So London Rocket, it's busting out of this pot here. It's an annual plant, and it's considered to be a weed in most areas, really.
But what is a weed?
What is a weed?
What is a weed exactly? Technically, it's plants that people technically don't want, but I mean, they can be amazing. Like if they're growing in areas where other plants don't want to grow, they're pioneer species and can help pave the way for newer plant species to come along and help prepare the soil.
Yeah. So if you want to use a plant that is considered to be a weed, you just have to know what you're dealing with and the location, how to use it in the right way.
Yeah, be careful.
Yeah. So we're going to talk a little about that. London Rocket got its name, this is, I guess, allegedly from its abundance after the Great London Fire in the 1600s. And I don't know if there's good documented evidence of that, but it does make sense. Like certain plants that might be considered weeds that are kind of pioneer species often appear in environments where other plants can't grow, such as, after some kind of catastrophe like a fire. There's another plant called arugula that is also sometimes called rocket. It's a little different from London Rocket, but it's in the same family. London Rocket grows in the winter here in the desert southwest. In a lot of other areas, it might be growing in the spring and summer. It doesn't like super hot conditions, so it'll die back by summer here. I'm gonna peek behind me.
Okay, now go.
Should do all our videos of this. London Rocket does like full sun or semi-shade. It's not a picky plant, which is why it can get out of control, can tolerate a variety of pH levels and a variety of soil types.
So really it might be a good idea to consider like what type of weeds you want where, because depending on different soil acidities, that might not be very suitable for a lot of plants, but maybe you can get some edible, weeds or whatnot, and that can help prepare that.
And it doesn't need a lot of special care, it'll grow wherever it grows.
And that's something you want to consider. You want to consider hardy plants in some areas. Things that you don't have to pay a whole lot of attention to, things that don't require a lot of maintenance. If you're thinking permaculture type methods, you got your gardening and stuff like that. All that's going to be in like very intensive zones, a zone 1 or something like that. But let's say you're going to be out further, a zone 2 or a zone 3, you might want to kind of consider things that you don't have to visit very often.
Mm-hmm. So this is a plant that is edible. The leaves are edible, the flowers are edible, and the seeds are edible. And it all has this kind of spicy flavor, similar to like arugula or other plants in that family, like mustardy type plants.
Mm-hmm. So can I put a bunch of these leaves on my hot dog?
Yeah, you could. Or a salad.
Oh yeah. Salads.
Leaves go well in salads. when you are harvesting the leaves, keep in mind it's gonna get more pungent and bitter after it flowers. So like this plant has flowered, it's probably nearing the end of its life cycle, it's developing its seeds, so the leaves are gonna be pretty strong and probably bitter.
So I shouldn't do a taste test of the video.
You can, you should, you gotta do it.
Do it!
Do it.
I'm about to do it. Ready? Here we go. Yeah, exactly like you were saying. Kind of a spiciness to it.
Spicy. Is it bitter at all?
Maybe a little, but not bad.
Yeah.
No. Try one.
Okay.
Our turn.
Yeah, definitely. I can taste like a mustardy, cabbagey kind of. It's a little bitter. It's like a bitter, cabbagey, mustardy.
Ooh, does
flavor.
that sound delicious? Way to talk that up. It's a bitter, cabbagey, mustardy type. Oh, I just got buzzed.
But it'd probably make a good relish, or maybe you can make it like a pesto out of it or something. Or just, sprinkle it on your salad for a little kick. But the leaves do contain vitamin C, as well as minerals. The seeds are actually rich in polyunsaturated oils, so like omega-3s, and it has actually a good ratio of the omega-3 to 6, which is kind of rare to find in foods, and it's good for you. It does have some medicinal uses traditionally as well.
Medicinal. Always consult your physician. Do we gotta put up that list of like possible side effects? May cause deliciousness in your salads. Warning.
So let's talk about considerations of growing this plant, having it around, because it is considered to be a weed and it can grow very easily in a lot of environments. So you do want to take that into consideration.
Be careful with invasive species.
Yeah, because sometimes it can outcompete a native species. So if you do decide to try to cultivate it, just, that's something to keep in mind. But, it can be a useful plant. And these little, what are they, like bee flies or something, seem to really like it.
Bee flies. The bee flies love it. Guess what, y'all? We're on Patreon.
Patreon.
So we started up a Patreon page. Not that we're trying to move any of our content from here onto Patreon, but we thought we'd make a little something extra for people looking for a little bit more information than we can provide here on this platform.
We're going to be adding some information on garden things for people that are interested specifically in gardening, and we'll have plant profiles, so similar to what we're talking about here, like what is the plant, information about how it grows, how to cultivate it, how to harvest it, how to use it, lots of information on that, a whole like PDF document for you, and probably be throwing in other helpful gardening tips and things in that space.
Be part of the GDP team. Not only do you get some cool goodies out of it, but it helps support what we do out here. That's right. And, if that's not your thing, that's cool. We're still going to be making videos here 6 days a week. No changes in that. We're still going to be putting as much good content in here as we can provide. Alright, thanks a lot for joining us. We hope you enjoyed this episode about the London Rocket. If you like London Rocket, please give us a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please do. We'd love to see you around. Share this with a friend or two, because they want to know how to grow weeds as well.
And you can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
Bye, everyone.